How to Bake a Cake 101. A cake is a great way to tell someone happy birthday, congratulations, good luck, and many other things. By making a homemade cake, you are letting someone know how much they mean to you. Baking a cake is easy. Anybody with an oven and a little knowledge in baking can do it. In this step-by-step process, you will be walked through the steps to make a perfect cake for any occasion. For this tutorial, we will be showing you how to make a simple white cake with a homemade vanilla buttercream icing to decorate your cake. The first thing that needs to be done for baking the cake is preheating the oven. Preheating the oven is very important because it allows the oven to get to the correct temperature before you put the cake in. For this simple white cake, you want to preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Most cakes usually require the same temperature for baking, but it can vary from cake to cake. The next step will be greasing a 9x9 inch pan. Get a stick of butter and rub the bottom of your pan so there is a thin layer of butter. By greasing the pan, you are making sure that the cake does not stick to the pan. You can use any size pan you would like, but for this simple white cake, a 9x9 inch pan works best. For greasing, the best thing to use is butter. It will make the cake have a richer taste. You don't want to use oil-based sprays because they could damage the pan. Once you have butter on the bottom of the pan, now sprinkle flour on it to keep the cake from sticking. For this cake, you'll need 1 cup of white sugar, ½ cup of butter, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, 1 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder, ½ cup of milk. After you have all the ingredients, you want to grab a medium-sized bowl to mix it all together. First, put the butter and sugar in the bowl and mix them together. After it is mixed, add the eggs one by one and stir in the vanilla extract. Next, put the rest of the ingredients and mix until it is smooth. There should be no lumps in your mixture. Next, pour the mixture into the baking pan and put it in the oven. You want to bake it for 30 to 40 minutes or until it is golden brown. A good way to know the cake is finished is to poke a toothpick through the middle of it. You'll know the cake is done if there is no batter on your toothpick. If there is anything on the toothpick when you pull it out, you want to bake it a little longer until it comes out clean. While your cake is baking, a great thing to do is make icing so you can decorate your cake. A good icing that pairs well with this white cake is vanilla buttercream. This vanilla buttercream icing will take about 10 minutes and will be the finishing touch to your cake. First, you're going to have to gather the ingredients, which are 3 cups of powdered sugar, a 1/3 cup of margarine, 1½ teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk. We also want to grab a bowl that will be big enough to mix all your ingredients together. The first thing you will do is add sugar and butter into the bowl and mix them together. While you're doing this, you'll need to stir in the vanilla extract along with 1 tablespoon of milk. After you make the icing to your desired thickness, there are only a couple more steps left. After 30 or 40 minutes, you want to check on the cake to make sure it is done. Once you see that the cake is done and you've done the toothpick trick, you can take your cake out of the oven. Do this by putting an oven mitt onto each of your hands. When you take your cake out, you will put it on a cooling rack for about 5 minutes before you do anything to it. After the 5 minutes have passed, you are able to put the finishing touches on your cake. When icing, be sure to spread it out evenly and make sure it covers the whole cake. Once you finish icing it, you can add different things to the top of the cake, like candles or a message to make the cake meaningful to the person you are giving it to for their special occasion. Baking a cake is very simple. It only takes you about an hour altogether. Anyone who has an oven and a little knowledge in baking can complete the simple process and end up with a great tasting simple cake. Know that your cake should end up having a spongy texture. Always remember to check on your cake while it is in the oven so it does not stay in there too long and end up burnt. Be sure to cover the cake if it is not all eaten to preserve its freshness. By covering your cake, you will also help keep it moist for the days to come. This will also help your cleanup process if you keep it moist. You have endless possibilities with the decorative options, so you can make the cake for any occasion. After making the cake, make sure you sit down and enjoy it.